When Demar DeRozan was on the Raptors, he was one of the best players in the NBA. But it seems like ever since he was traded to a different team, we don't hear about him at all anymore. What happened to Demar DeRozan? Demar DeRozan first came into the NBA in 2009, and he wasn't just your average player. His resume spoke for itself. In high school, he was considered one of the best players in the country, averaging 30 points a game. He went on to college and dominated the competition there too. He was just getting better with time. So when he first came to the NBA, everyone knew this guy had the potential to be a superstar. But there was one problem. The team he was drafted to was just trash, bro. That's the only way you can put it. He was playing for the Toronto Raptors, and at the time, they had one of the worst records in the league. They were good during the Vince Carter era, but that was in the past. They had a lot of work to do. Demar DeRozan was literally going to have to build the franchise up from the bottom. It was going to be tough, but luckily, he had a couple players on the team that were willing to put the work in. They did everything they could to make the team better. But for 5 straight years, they had no luck. After all that hard work they put in, they couldn't even make it to the playoffs. At the time, Demar DeRozan was really starting to doubt himself. I mean, he was putting in all this effort, but nothing was working out. It had him questioning, is this stress even worth it? But just as he was getting ready to just say forget it and call it quits, everything changed. It was one day that everything was starting to click for the team. They became so good that they were considered the best team in the East, and they had a chance to win it all. But there was another problem. This problem stood in the way of every player, every team. This problem was called LeBron. DeMar DeRozan and the Raptors were playing great basketball, but every year they wanted to go on a run, LeBron was there to stop them. And it got so bad to the point that they were calling Toronto LeBronto. It was tough times for the Raptors. After losing to LeBron year after year, it was starting to become frustrating. It felt like it was nothing else DeMar DeRozan could do. He gave it his all every time they played, and it still wasn't enough. He was starting to think that LeBron was just unbeatable. He was thinking it, and the organization was thinking it as well. So they had to make a quick decision because time was running out. I mean, sure, they are this close to the championship now, but who knows what the future holds? Maybe a star player would get hurt, maybe another super team would be formed, or maybe the Raptors would just become trash. Everything was a possibility. So the Toronto Raptors made one of the toughest decisions ever. They decided to trade their franchise player, DeMar DeRozan. At the time, this was the biggest shock in all of basketball. DeMar DeRozan literally helped build that team from the ground up, and he was in his prime. So the fact that they just up and traded him was confusing to everybody. But they made the decision. And the crazy thing is that this decision completely changed his career. He was traded to the Spurs for Kawhi Leonard, and at the time, people didn't think it was a good trade. They felt DeMar DeRozan was the better player. They were saying this only because Kawhi Leonard had been out for an injury during the last couple of years. Everyone really forgot what he was capable of, but he changed everybody's mind quick. When Kawhi got to the Raptors, he became a superstar almost overnight. He made them the best team in the league, and he led them to their first championship ever. And just like that, everyone forgot about DeMar DeRozan. But here's the weird part. It's not like he became trash or anything. He was really the same exact player putting up the same stats. But for some weird reason, he wasn't considered all-star material anymore. Why? I have no idea. Could be politics, could be that there were players better than him that year. I don't know, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Peace.
I have not answered my calls.
My fault, I was heating up.